What's going on? Welcome back to another episode with jaredkash. Alright, today I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about control settings for Black Ops. I mainly play Blackout, so I don't really know if this is going to be good for anything else. I also play with two customized controllers. I have a PS4 Elite controller, which has the paddles, and I also have a Nacon Pro controller too, which has paddles on the bottom as well. However, I only actually use two of the paddles for the most part. Sorry, I just had a burp there. So let's just get this started. So what I like to do, and like I said, I'm fairly kind of new to this game, but what I found is what works the best for me and has improved my gameplay quite a bit is what I've done now. If you guys do have a controller with the paddles at the bottom, you definitely want to reroute your two main ones on the bottom, whatever ones are the easiest for you to use. Now what I like to do is on the right side for the paddle, I like to use pickup, and then I use on my other paddle for the left side, I use jump, which is, it just allows you to be able to jump and keep aim on someone, and it also picks up stuff way faster where you don't have to take your finger off of your right analog stick, so you can actually pay attention to what's going on around you a lot better. So what we're gonna do is look inversion. Obviously I don't have that on. I don't invert my shit. Look sensitivity horizontal. I like to turn that up to 5 or 6, around there. Like I said, sensitivity is all for like personal kind of preference. So that will change depending on the player and like how experienced you are. So, but like what I like to do is put my look sensitivity horizontal on 6, and then on my vertical I like to keep that around 4 or 5. I just keep it on 4, but on my ADS sensitivity and my high zoom sensitivity, I like to turn that up to about 125 or even 1.5, depending. So, and that also helps like just for gameplay in general, like a lot more snappy, a lot more fast. Okay, I like to turn my target assist on. Now, and a very important thing with target assist is that you want to center it, so try not to drag your crosshairs when you're using your target assist, and then you can just keep spamming your left trigger, and you can get quite a bit of kills way faster too. But you don't want to drag your crosshairs. Like, this is just like a tip. A lot of people, that's how they get a lot of kills, is by dragging their crosshairs. But if you want that snap kind of auto assist, or if you're used to GTA, this is actually the best way to do it, is just kind of get your thing centered, especially when you're coming around corners and stuff, and just, like I said, just try not to drag your right analog stick. So another thing is, so yeah, I keep target assist on, and I keep my aim assist on. Controller vibration, I keep that on, but I just personally kind of like the way, I don't care. I'll talk to you later, bro. I don't know, it's just more immersive for me, so I like the vibration in my controller. Okay, so sprint cancels reload. You want to definitely turn that off, obviously, for obvious reasons. Just because I like to run. Auto mantle, I keep that on just when you're coming up to fences and stuff. You don't have to press jump, it'll just kind of jump you in there. Auto sprint, now I've had a lot of arguments. Me personally, I like auto sprint. Now, I've had some weak arguments with it because you can just double tap and then you run, especially on those long distance and stuff, and it's so easy to just, like, people are like, oh, I don't want to ever be stuck on auto sprint, but I mean, you're not really ever stuck on it, like, for real. Like, you just have to pull back or pull left on your right analog stick, and it just changes it. I keep my stick layout normal as default. Button layout I keep as default, and these now it kind of all depends how you are. Some people like to use the R1s to shoot rather than your R2, just because your what's it called, hairline, whatever, just like, it's a little bit more sensitive. But for me, I can set that up on a custom controller, so it doesn't really matter all that much. So when we come over to Blackout, now this is kind of where it's a little bit more important. I turn my mini map onto square. It gives you just a little bit more of an area. Also, item pickup. I do it on press rather than hold. That way it's a lot faster, especially when you're like for instance, like the best example is like when you're running through the train and you just want to pick up everything. I like pressing it rather than holding it. It saves you a bit of time, especially when you got like no ammo and you're running in, or you got health and you're trying to beat the storm. Like, it's just a lot faster, a lot better of a response time. Also, priority item pickup. Now, this is another thing. I put mine on ammo, but what it does is it actually kind of like when you're near an item but you're not looking at it and you want to grab it, like this will just prioritize what you're going to grab. You can set it to distance or you can set it to ammo. I just set mine to ammo right away, so when you're running through places, you can grab ammo. If you need a gun, you kind of got to stop and read it a little bit anyway, unless you have a little bit more experience. Quick equip item cycling, I just kind of left that on a normal cycle. Ladder mounting, I keep that on forward, and reload behavior I have on press instead of release. It's just a little bit more, like I said, reaction time, so it's a little bit better. So as far as that goes, I find that is some of the best that I've used personally. Like I said, especially, like I think I'm going to have to turn up this one, because this is a little bit... So this will be your ADS, and you want to turn that up just a little bit. So I have mine at 1.5. And the high zoom, okay, so the ADS, the high zoom is only really for the scopes. It says that it reacts for your four times zoom, but it actually doesn't affect your 4 times zoom. It doesn't matter what gun you're using, but it does affect your sniper scope. So definitely keep that, I don't know, in mind, I guess. Then I'm going to turn those up to 1.5, and we'll just kind of leave that. And that's like, for honestly, other than that, that's some of your best kind of control settings. This here you can turn up. Some people keep it on like 8, 7, because it just gives you a time to turn around, and then you can aim. I wish that they would actually introduce the timing in which it takes to look through your scope. I wish you could actually turn that up and down, but you can't yet, so we'll do that. Horizontal, I like to keep on the lower, because it just kind of keeps, it helps you keep your crosshair centered a little bit better. You're not kind of all over the place, and like the amount of times your auto aim will actually snap. Like if you, as long as you turn, your auto aim will snap to them anyway. So it kind of works a little bit better that way. But I'm pretty sure that's pretty much it for the control settings for this. Oh, audio. That was the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Audio. I like to keep the bass a little bit high. And I turned my master volume up. I turned down the voice, or the music volume. I turned it down to 3. That way you don't get too much, like, just noise. You know what I mean? Kind of background noise pollution kind of stuff. I keep the cinematics volumes down. The sound effects volume I keep up. And the team chat I keep up. That way you can hear footsteps and stuff, but you don't have too much, like, distraction from, like, other noises. Like, oh, did you hear that? Kind of stuff. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the best I can say. As far as control settings. And like I said, if you guys are worried about sensitivity, just play with it, and you guys will get it, because I mean it's different for every person. It's different for every controller, depending if you're using other controllers. So the other thing that I also wanted to touch is if you are using a custom controller with paddles, like I said, on your right side you'll want to just program square to your main one, and then on your left one you'll want to program jump. And like I said, that just gives you the ability to be able to jump around and still keep aim without having to move your thumb. So yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's not as like detailed and thorough as my other one, but it'll help you guys out a lot more than if you guys didn't know. So yeah, anyways, peace.